Yes, yes, yes. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. And first things first, let me do yes. Sound check. Mr. Raphael Dawkins with a boom. That's perfectly sounding. Okay. Let's clear this up right now. Let's pause that. And welcome the people in to, what's it called? What's this one called? It's Boxing Talk with Rafi 274. And before I give you the menu, let me get this thing straightened out. What's this? Hold on. I think I've done that already. Let's bring up the scroller. Show. Okay. Boxing Talk with Rafi 274. Wilder wins arbitration. What now? What now? I should have said what next. Let me fix that right now. Wins arbitration. What next? What's next? What's next? Yeah. Okay. Let's save that and show that. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And where are we now? Where are we now? Welcome to Boxing Talk with Rafi. And logically, clearly, we're going to have to talk about this thing, this arbitration thing. Wilder won the arbitration when what's his name? Arum said no. Arum said we were good to go. Don't worry about that cat over there. Don't worry about the Alabama kid. Don't worry about him. We're all good. We're in a good place, in a good space. And the worst that can happen is that you might have to break off a little bit of change. You might have to break off a little bit of change. Well, it transpired not to be that way. We got the news on Monday that Joshua's out and Wilder is in. Dime. Okay, let me fix up my screen so it looks right. No, not that one. Not that one. Oh, where is it? Boom, boom, boom. Let's get this fixed up right so we may commence. Okay, there you are. So that's the picture we're using as a matter of fact. Rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's get that in the background as well. Delete that and bring this up to 7-4. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, what the hell's that? Boom. Okay, now it's good. All right, what we looking at? Okay, we got the Maestro up in the building. We got the Iron Kong. Cell floor, I can't say. Boxing Jedi is up in the building. Yo, Raph. Uh-oh, what's this? What's good, Rafi? Yes. Okay, so first things first. Let's not mess around. Let's drop the link straight away. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. That's in. Let me check over there, over on the YouTube to make sure it has loaded. Not yet. Okay, whatever. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, where do I begin? Holy moly. Guacamole. Damn. Okay, got a load of, what's that there? Let's get rid of that. Well, let's try and figure out where the hell we're gonna begin this shiznix. I just hit upon a story which was all good just a day ago. but it ain't no good no more. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Okay, let's go to. I know a good place where we can go. I know a place where we can go. I know exactly where we can start. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Not there. Okay, let's go into my history and let's. As a matter of fact, let's so we bring some. No, let's go. Okay. I know where to start. I know where we gonna start. Let's have a look. Let's have a listen. As a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat. Let's go to the video I just did. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. There it is. Yes. You're guarding. I mean, it's let him speak for himself. Okay. We got it. We have got it. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. In comes the John Daly. And just hang there in a second, John. Let me just play this thing. And as a matter of fact, rat-tat-tat-tat, let me just play the video. The words of Eddie Hearn. What's going on here? What's going on here? What's going on here? Boom, boom, boom. Where's Eddie? Eddie, come on in. Let's share this. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. What is this? Is that my version? All right. Let's see if this is sharing. Yes, it is. Okay. So let us commence with this thing, with this shiznix. Let's get the volume right and let's go. Eddie Hearn, what say you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's I have been focusing on Plan A. The only fight that we had our mind on was Tyson Fury, and we hope that that fight can still take place on August 14th. The game changed last night, where we have to have a Plan B in place, and probably a Plan C as well. And we have a couple of different options. Of course, the one that springs to mind immediately is the WBO mandatory of Alexander Usyk. They've been quite patient, and I think really we're in a situation now where if Team Fury don't get themselves together, get their act together by the end of this week, we will have no option but to look for an alternative fight. AJ wants to fight this summer. Alexander Usyk is the mandatory. We have 2 or 3 other options as well, but it would be in an ideal world if the right deal could be done to maintain those belts and to keep the Fury fight alive for probably December, but for the undisputed as well. So I had a very good conversation this morning with Alex Krasuk. He's a partner of ours. We've worked very well on Alexander Usyk. And I just sort of said to him, I'm just very honest. I said, look, Team Fury are trying to resolve the issue. If they don't, there's a very good chance we could be fighting you. So if we're all sensible, let's move forward. Let's try and look at the options to get that locked in. Again, we're in a situation where we just don't know how likely it is to get a full venue for August, in the UK. That was one of the reasons that it was ruled out for the Fury fight, is we couldn't get the confirmation from Wembley and other venues that they would be allowed full capacity. But we move forward with that, and we continue those talks with Alex Krasuk this week. And like I said, Plan B and Plan C still now comes into effect, but we hope Plan A is evolves and can come into fruition.
Okay. So if you want that full video, if you want to see the full video, check it after the show. Check it after the show. Okay. So we got in arbitration. What does this say? Arbitration has no legal standing. It's a setup. Tell that to the arbitrator. What's his name? Weinstein. And yes. In comes James with a super chat donation. The first sponsor of the show. Much appreciation. And people out there, if you're enjoying the show, if you enjoyed last night's show, if you enjoyed all of last week's shows, you know where the support button is. Okay, James Jameson. If it wasn't a setup, Wilder would have gone into an actual courtroom with a real judge. Arbitrator has no legal standing. I'm afraid it's legally binding in so much as that it's understood that they were contractually signed a contract that they would stand by the arbitrator's decision. So I'm afraid if that is signed, then it is legally binding. But before I go to John Daly, let me just give you a brief outline of the situation as it stands, the situation so far. What's going on here? Let's clear this up. Okay, let's start it from there again so that can keep going on in the background. Okay, so the situation as it stands is, what's going on? Why is that not moving? Why is that not moving? Go on, move. There we are. So the situation as it stands is that yesterday, Rafi decided to go live. Traditionally, the live Monday show. And just before I went live, the news broke. The news broke that Deontay Wilder had won arbitration. Big surprise to me. But anyway, I thought, well, no problem. Tyson Fury is going to have to pay him a few shillings, a few pounds, a few pence. That's what I thought, because that's what Bob Arum said when he was asked around 6 weeks ago. And even before that, Bob Arum has been very consistent in what he said the potential penalty would be. He was dismissive of it. Said if Wilder won, all he gets is chucked a few dollars. Just chuck him a few dollars to shut up the holler. But all of a sudden, the arbitrator comes out, and the decision is that arrangements have to be made for the third fight. So clearly, they must have given him permission to take it that far. They must have said, hey, if you decide that you want us to fight the third time, so be it. But here's the thing. And just before I bring in the John Daly, I want to bring this thing up because a lot of people have forgot about it already. Y'all must have forgot. A lot of people have forgot about this thing already. But it was an Instagram post, and I think it's a very interesting one. Let me bring that up now. Very germane to the case. Instagram. Who is it? Tyson. Yeah, there it is. I've looked it up enough times for it to just come up straight away. Gypsy King. And let me scroll down. Dang, he's got rid of a lot of his Instagram posts, so it might not be there no more. Oh, here it is. OMG. Okay, I'm going to bring this up, folks, and then I'm going to open up the phone lines. Hold on a second. So let me show this. Let me show you. Hold on. Come around here. There you go. Now, stop sharing that and start sharing this. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, now, for points make prizes. John Daly, do you remember this picture? Yeah. This is the picture of Tyson Fury. What does he say? Listen to Fury himself. In fact, I don't know if people can see this too well, so let me just blow this shiznix up so people can see. Okay, so this is what it was. Little business trip with Big Bob. Now, I don't know if people can remember. Do you remember where Bob was taking Tyson Fury? For those who don't remember, this was a trip to see Mr. Weinstein, none other than the actual arbitrator. Apparently, I just found out, I thought it was some business meeting in a business office. They actually went to the arbitrator's house. They went to the arbitrator's house, sat down, drank wine with him, broke bread with him. And all I can say to that is OMG. Tyson Fury, Bob Arum went to the arbitrator's house. When was this? It actually tells you. It was something like, 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And I think, remember, let's set the narrative up. Remember, Tyson Fury has been dismissive of the offer for 90, the Joshua offer, the DAZN offer, the Matchroom offer, the Saudi offer for 9/10 of the time. He was always poo-pooing it. No, it's not happening. It's not working. I'm still empty-handed. I want money in my bank account. They actually said that one time. Yeah, put something in his bank account. Frank Warren said that. But we forgot. Y'all must have forgot 3 weeks ago. Tyson Fury, Bob Arum, on an airplane to Mr. Weinstein's house. OMG. OMG. Now I hear a lot of chatting in the comment section. People saying, I told you. What is this? Arbitration does have legal. People saying, I done told you, Rafi. People saying this, people saying that. Hey, you know what to do. Okay. John D. Lee, how do you do?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Raf.
Excellente, excellente. Where do you want to start, John? Where do you want to start? I can't see. I've been meaning to talk about that for a good few days, but dang, this arbitration thing threw everybody for a loop. John D. Lee.
Well, let's start with Eddie.
Yeah.
Okay. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yes.
And you could say, oh yeah, well, that was Wilder. But actually, Tyson Fury told Eddie Hearn that he wanted an offer for the Wembley date in April 2019. Hearn put the offer together and he went off to fight Wilder. Hearn's put multiple offers to him. He tried to sign him when he said he was coming back.
Yeah.
So Hearn has to start looking at himself and question what he's doing wrong. Because every time it comes to making a big fight for AJ, he can't get it over the line.
Oh dear.
Well, it's true, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, how unfortunate though. How unfortunate. That's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? Bit of a bugger, that, isn't it?
Well, it's a concern.
Yeah, that's a problem. Sure.
I mean, it's actually getting to a point where I'm questioning whether AJ is actually going to be in an undisputed fight before he retires.
It's highly doubtful. That's what I'm saying. Listen, if Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder are in the mix, I would say no. They just. It's just so problematic. I mean, this is. It is an absolute. What time is it? It's an absolute piss take that's happened. Deontay Wilder. Well, not the part of Deontay Wilder. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do.
In this situation, Wilder is blameless.
Wilder is blameless. I've said it several times since last night's show. Wilder is blameless. Wilder ain't done nothing wrong in this particular situation, but it looks to me like a piss take has occurred with Bob Arum. Chief piss takers, Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, and what's his name, Warren? I don't know. I think he was just a peripheral. I think he was just a bit part player, Warren, in this whole thing.
If I'm honest, I think Warren wants the AJ fight because that's the only way he gets any money. You can't tell me that this is going to do well on BT Sports.
Nope, I don't think so.
So does Frank Warren get anything off ESPN or the Get Live Gate? He's not the promoter.
He's not the promoter. I'd have thought he'd want to be cut in for at least 1%.
He might get a flat fee if he's lucky, Raf. I doubt he's getting a percentage.
Might get a flat fee, but he wants something. He's going to want something.
But it'll be nominal.
Of course it's nominal.
Whereas a joint pay-per-view against AJ on British primetime is obviously better for Frank.
Yes, on British TV, totally.
Yeah. So they were going to do a joint pay-per-view, weren't they, with Sky and BT?
Yeah, that's right.
So that would be more lucrative for Frank, I believe.
Hold on a second, but they're still going to do some joint shizzle. Oh, you're talking about now because it was switched over to. But it's still do a joint thing though.
Yeah. But those previous BT pay-per-view figures are buried extremely deeply.
Yeah.
Because they haven't been lucrative.
Hold on a second. What I think what you're saying, if I'm not mistaken, is that it's the same program, it's the same principle and joint thing, but with AJ, it'll be a whole different ball game financially for BT.
Well, it isn't just the fact that it's AJ. It would be on British primetime.
All right, yeah, for sure.
So who's realistically going to stay up all night for this fight and fork out 20 quid for it?
A lot of people.
Because the numbers for the last one are a closely guarded secret.
Do you think it's a bigger fight this time around?
No.
Three is better than. Do you think 3 is bigger than 2?
No, yes. I mean maybe in America. I've got no idea how well this will do in America. It might do extremely well over there. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to do badly in America. They might sell out the Raiders Stadium, and I wouldn't be surprised if they do 800 plus pay-per-views again.
Yeah,
I'm talking about from Frank Warren's point of view. He's a loser in this.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So that was my main point, really. I think Bob's the winner.
Yeah.
I think this is what Bob wanted all along.
Yeah.
And potentially, it's what ESPN wanted as well.
Potentially, it's what well, I think
a primetime pay-per-view, which I don't know if Fox are going to share it with them or not. But I don't think they are, because the winner of the fight in the rematch clause would be the promoter moving forward. So I think this is also going to be exclusively on ESPN. Fury gets 60% of everything. So from that point of view, I think Bob is the sole promoter. He's done a massive deal with Vegas, and he's the winner in this situation, and he's got revenge on her.
Bob is the winner in this situation. And let's go to the H-Mo Night. H-Mo Night up in the building. How do you do? H-Mo Night, talk to Mike.
Yes. Thanks for having me once again, Rafi. Appreciate you. Shout out to my boy John. How you doing, John? I'm excited, man. You know, Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder 3. It looks like this fight will happen, and it's going to be the biggest fight in boxing, hands down. If you look at the schedule of 2021, this is by far the biggest fight of the year. I did want to see Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury, but it looks like the fight ain't going to happen. And I got breaking news for you, Rafi. Tyson Fury just exposed Deontay Wilder. He wanted $20 million step aside money. Yeah, he just said it. Look on Fight Hype. Fight Hype just put the video out.
I believe you. But why I'm not surprised, I'm going to come back to you, H-Money, don't worry. Why I'm not surprised is because Deontay Wilder. Hold on a second. There was something with Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, or one of the Klitschkos.
10 million step aside.
For who?
So.
No. Who's the person who wanted him to step?
Okay. So the situation was Brazil was going to unify with Vladimir.
Yeah.
Wilder was the mandatory.
Yeah.
So he asked for 10 million step aside money. They said no, and that's the reason that he fought Brazil. Not Brazil, but Stavern. Sorry, it's Stavern.
Who
they did? So Stavern won the title, the WBC title,
right?
In I think 2015. By beating Ariola.
Yeah.
Vladimir Klitschko wanted to unify.
That's right.
To become undisputed. Wilder was the mandatory for the belt.
So Vladimir wanted Wilder to step aside.
Yeah.
So that he could fight Stavern.
Yeah.
And Wilder declined, but said, I will step aside if you pay me 10 million.
Well, So he didn't decline. He just said he needed 10 million.
Yeah, that's
they declined to pay him.
That's right. And so basically, I think 10 million is more than he would have got paid for that fight. 10 million is more than Stavern was getting paid for that fight. And 10 million was just a ridiculous sum. So he has precedence. There's a precedent for Deontay Wilder making ridiculous claims. Bear in mind, I think they'll fight 14 next, something of that nature. But anyway, back to H. Monet. I'm just telling you why I knew that whatever Wilder asked for step aside would be ridiculous and ludicrous.
Yeah, Tyson Fury just exposed it. He said he wanted 20 million, and he said it looks like I have to crack his skull. I have to crack his skull again. So I'm looking forward to Tyson Fury cracking Deontay's skull once again. You know what I mean? Let Tyson Fury do the dirty work, Ruffy. Let Tyson Fury show
He's
you.
already done the dirty work.
Let me
He's already
finish.
done the dirty work. He's done the dirty work when he strung people along for months.
Can I finish, please?
Yeah, no, you'll finish in a second, my friend. I'm only interjecting. I'm not stopping you. I'm just
because what I'm saying is Tyson Fury, he went to America and beat Deontay Wilder. And
hold on. Let's not. No, I'm not having any kind of crap tonight. No, I'm not having no crap tonight. I'm gonna just
I'm just step off, right? Because I don't mean any harm.
No, I'm not going at you. I'm just saying I want to keep things factual tonight. So let's be factual. Now it's gone, whatever. Okay. Now Anthony Joshua was basically hexed out, frozen out by Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. So I don't want to hear no former crap about Tyson Fury and came in like some kind of knight in shining armor.
There is actually a quote.
To go over to America. I don't want to hear no kind of crap about Tyson Fury stepped in and did what Anthony Joshua couldn't do. Listen, Anthony Joshua got froze out by Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Yeah? They were playing games. They were playing games all this time. So I don't want to hear no crap about Tyson Fury doing what Anthony Joshua wouldn't have done. Get out of here.
Rafi, all you need to do is dig up the links, because Tyson Fury said they were going to freeze AJ out. He's also been quoted as saying they'd fight each other 7 times and never fight AJ. And Wilder has been quoted saying that he turned down more money to fight AJ to fight Tyson Fury.
Exactly.
So that's all their own quotes.
All their own words.
Not circumstantial. It's all there.
It's all their words. So I don't want to hear no rubbish, no bull-ish about Tyson Fury came and he did this. Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder did the same damn thing. They played a game with each other to try and raise their stock. Neither wanted anything to do with Anthony Joshua, so miss me with any bull-ishery. Today we're going to keep it factual. I always like to keep it factual, but we're going to be no nonsense, just facts. And if you want to carry on a little bit there, John, I gotta write up a few things over here on this.
Well, yeah. I mean, I still think that there needs to be a good, long, hard look at what Eddie Hearn is doing, because he's not doing things right. And maybe he just needs to stop chasing.
100%. I think we've had a similar conversation before.
We have.
Just stop. Listen, man, it's elementary in life. If you're I always use ladies as my analogy, because everybody can relate, but most men can relate. So if you're chasing a girl, the chances of you getting her are less than if you're not chasing her. True or false? Do you agree with that or disagree with that?
Well, it's 100% the case. On top of that as well, I think the reality is that the only way Eddie's going to get these fights done is if the other promoter makes the offers to AJ.
Yeah. And
AJ is going to end up taking the short money like he did against Charles Martin.
Oh,
I think that's the reality of the situation.
One of those realities, one of those occasions. Yeah. I've said that what's his name? Eddie can't chase no more. He can't be the chaser. We talked about this before. We've told him to stop bloody chasing. Chasing doesn't get you anywhere.
It's more than that.
Well, it's more than that. That's deeper than that. But that's one element.
Yeah, I think ultimately, if they're going to do it, they're going to have to do a Charles Martin move and let the other side call all the shots and go in there and win.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
you know, and if you do it in the rematch clause that the winner gets the promotional rights, then it's not a huge gamble. He just has to go and bet on himself and win.
So who's going to take the short money against?
It doesn't really matter because whoever wins, there's no rematch out of Tyson Fury and Wilder. So if he wants the undisputed fight, he's going to have to fight them now. He's got mandatories racking up. What's even worse about this situation is he could have already fought Usyk by now. He fought in December.
If Tyson Fury wasn't twatting around,
but also you've got to say
Tyson Fury could easily have fought Wilder last year if he wasn't twatting around. Now, on top of that, Joshua could have fought Alexander Usyk last year, 2020.
Well, I don't think he would have fought Usyk because it was the IBF mandatory. So I think he would have always done Pulev first.
Yeah.
But that was 5 months ago now. No, in fact, it was like 6 months ago now.
Yeah, he could have done that this year. He could have done Pulev.
He could have had it now. He could be fighting him now.
He could have done Pulev last year, which he did, and he could have fought Alexander Usyk this year.
What was the date?
That could have been out of the way.
Because the other thing that's racking up is the next IBF mandatory is going to be due November this year.
Right, yeah.
So to get the undisputed fight, he's got to have a window in his mandatories. So all this nonsense Bob's talking about, oh yeah, we'll just fight Anthony Joshua later in the year. I don't think Bob's got any real intention of doing that.
You don't care. Bob don't care about that. It's too dangerous for him. It's too dangerous a situation.
Well, I don't know that Bob wouldn't do it, but I think it would have to be in Vegas.
He'll do it on his terms.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. If AJ wants to have that fight,
yeah,
they just have to accept whatever they're given from Bob when they're chasing AJ and he's not chasing them.
They've got to go chasing. Did I just hear a cockerel? That must be for that sounded like a St. Kitts cockerel.
Listen, just bring me in. Just bring me in. Mind your business. Mind your business, sir.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with having a few
no, man, that's I didn't know that Iron Kong, had a little small holding, a little farm in the backyard.
I don't. These
are very tasty, Raf.
These are feral animals that roam, so they don't belong to me.
Better yet, you can stick them into the pot, get them cooked up. Get them cooked up.
My God!
You see the West. You see the Caribbean living, folks. If you ain't got the money over here, you're stuffed. Over there, you just go outside with a lasso.
That's not actually true, Rafi.
With a lasso, catch a cockerel. Or a chicken, or
all you need to do is get yourself over to Bayou, probably Sandwell Valley Park, catch a few rabbits.
There's
plenty of rabbits are knocking around.
I'm talking about chicken. Man,
rabbits nicer than chicken.
I didn't come here for this kind of abuse. I didn't come here for this. I didn't come here for this.
Rabbit's nicer than chicken, right?
Man, don't eat. No, not to me. I've had both. I'm a chicken man. I'm a chicken man.
Rabbit hair is very tasty.
It's too dry. You can die. If you have a diet just a rabbit, you can die because there's not enough. Because it's so lean. It's so lean. If you can die eating rabbit. It's so lean and low in calories. But anyway, that's something for people to discuss, to chop up amongst yourselves in the comment section. But Iron Kong, come on in.
Is it my turn now? Y'all stop listening to my background? I mean, I didn't come here for this. I came to talk boxing. I came to speak the truth.
Come on in. Come with it. Talk about it. Let's talk.
Man. Yeah. So I was saying earlier with you before I left, right? A lot of people need to remain level-headed and understand who we're talking about. So people mad at Wilder for blocking the fight, but Wilder is just enforcing a contractual obligation, right? So people want to be Wilder blocking the fight. Bob Arum and Tyson Fury, before even the second fight, said they will fight 3 times, right? Fight Wilder 3 times or how much ever times. And this was all in an effort. 1 second, please. 1 second.
Don't worry. Iron Kong there is claiming that it's not his cockroach, but I don't know. I don't know,
Just
John.
needs to go in the pack, ref.
Let's make a little guillotine. Good. Yeah. Go on.
Right. So this was all in an effort so they would find some leverage on Anthony Joshua. This was agreed upon by the two teams, by the way.
Yeah.
That they would do what they have to do to essentially hurt Matchroom and Anthony Joshua's momentum, right?
Yeah.
So now Tyson Fury is acting like this is, Tyson, like oh, this is a travesty. I wanted to fight Joshua. No, I think Tyson Fury and Bob Arum knew exactly what was going to happen. That's why when Tyson did, there was a picture of them said they're going to have a meeting to see if a third Wilder fight can happen. This was just recently before the Billy Joe Sanders fight.
This picture.
There's a picture of Bob Arum and Tyson Fury on a private plane.
Yeah.
Stating that that's when Bob Arum was like, oh, the fight is dead in the water and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
And Tyson, there it is. And the whole thing was, we're going to see if we could get a third Wilder fight started out. Mm-hmm. So while they were over there, they were doing this, and they knew this was happening, and they were just trying to hype Tyson Fury's name and whatever, on the Joshua fight.
Yeah. To
get some momentum on this fight, right? Mm-hmm. Tyson Fury knew exactly what he was doing. Bob Arum knew what he was doing. I don't like that Tyson Fury is coming and talking about 20 million. I don't believe nothing of that. I don't believe none of that. Tyson Fury is a liar.
Yep.
I don't blame Wilder for it. Wilder is just enforcing what they agreed upon. And
True.
I don't believe Fury in nothing he said. This dude is a scam artist. Bob Arum and Frank Warren used Eddie Hearn for their own purposes. Yeah. As y'all said, Eddie Hearn needs to stop getting holed out by these guys. You know what I'm saying? You're acting like you're desperate to make this fight. I mean, I understand you want to make a big fight for Anthony Joshua. But at some point, you have to hold them accountable too. Like, yo, y'all need to come see me. You know what I'm saying? So he got hauled out by Bob Arum, who's still mad at him over the Teofimo Lopez stuff. He got hauled out by Frank Warren, who's struggling. But then again, how does this help Frank Warren? I think John made a good point. How does this help you? Tyson's not fighting in England. He's fighting on ESPN. I highly doubt people are going to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder 3. It didn't go well the first time. It didn't go so well the second time. So how does this help Frank Warren in any way? This doesn't help Queensberry. The fight with Anthony Joshua would have helped Queensberry and BT Sport.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just very strange. But for people talking about Wilder, please, let's not conflate issues. You might not like Wilder, but all he's doing is pushing his contractual obligation, which Tyson Fury and Bob Arum knew they couldn't get away from. I don't believe for an instant they had any intention of pushing this fight through with Anthony Joshua. This was a lie. It was all hype. Tyson Fury is quite capable of doing the long con. He's been long conning people his whole career. Mm-hmm. So this is just another chapter in a long con. That's all it is.
I think it's significant that all along Bob has said he wants to do Tyson Fury versus Wilder with a crowd.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now that we can have a crowd in Vegas, he's got the biggest stadium in Vegas booked.
There you go.
And he's got a date of the 24th of July. And he's got somebody that he's gone to go and finesse in his private jet to order the fight rather than a financial compensation package.
but John, just the other day, Frank Warren let it out the bag in a way where he said Bob already has an opponent and a person lined up.
They've been talking about Tyson Fury fighting Wilder for a month now, at least.
No, but what I'm saying is the date in July, Frank Warren let it out already that Bob already has an opponent lined up for July something. And it's the same date that Bob Arum has here for Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas all of a sudden. Same date.
But But even before that,
Same
Bob
date for what?
Arum,
Same date for what?
24th of July is what we're talking about.
No, what is significant about the 24th of July?
That's when the Raiders Stadium's booked for by Top Rank.
And Frank Warren said before that Bob Arum has a replacement opponent, he said an opponent lined up for July 24th or so, or whatever it was. And I was like, what opponent is this? Who's Bob Arum going to pay Tyson Fury to fight in Allegiant Stadium? And then here we go. Bob Arum has Allegiant Stadium, July 24th, Deontay Wilder. They knew this was coming. Don't let nobody...
Last month, when Bob, every time Bob's been saying he doesn't believe in the Saudi money, he's been talking about Tyson Fury fighting Wilder again.
This has been a very, very nice setup. I feel like I was watching an episode of Ocean's 11 or something. This was a slick finesse.
This was two old operators running game on this young dude over this young, arrogant dude. Run game on Eddie Hearn, upstart, to teach him a lesson. And he got taught a lesson. Eddie Hearn has to stop, as y'all said, all this chasing, bro. You got the biggest star in boxing. And you here running behind Liar Fury and Deontay. Well, listen, man. You need to go out there and let Anthony Joshua deal with Usyk handily. And then move on with your career. When these two are ready, they'll come find you. Because they don't have no big fights outside of each other.
One at a time.
Go ahead, I'm done.
So after Usyk, they've got the IBF mandatory. And that's looking like they're going to have Hrgovic versus Joyce now for that. Or possibly Parker. So AJ's fights are taken care of for the rest of the year.
Yeah. I'll take a Joe Joyce versus Hrgovic. I'll take that.
And whichever one of those guys wins, it's still a good fight against AJ.
It's a hell of a good fight.
It's not a big fight. It's a good fight.
It's a solid fight, though. It's a solid fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight, yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's a solid fight. Hrgovic versus Joe Joyce. Hold on. How did Josie Parker get lost in the shuffle here? Shouldn't it be?
It's the IBF referee.
Oh, it's the IBF.
Yeah.
IBF.
Because
Joseph Parker is ranked in WBO, right?
The WBO is going to be fulfilled when Joshua fights Usyk.
Yes.
Which is what
yeah. So hold on. The WBO eliminator was going to be Usyk versus Joyce.
Yes.
Well, it was for the interim belt, which would have turned into the official belt because they would have dropped the WBO after.
So now Usyk is just going. Looks like he might just be going straight to Joshua. So where does that leave? Okay, so that will be fulfilled. If Deontay Wilder, if hypothetically Deontay Wilder did accept step aside, which I'm pretty sure he won't because he ain't going to get no ridiculous money.
I don't think he's going to be offered step aside money.
Yeah, he probably won't. I think he will be offered step aside money just to see if it would be.
Bob's already got the
venue. It would be foolish not to offer him step aside money because he might say yes. So first things first. Hold on a second, please. First things first. You go in for a car, you have to make your low ball offer. Even though the guy's going to tell you to get lost, you still have to try because you never know what the outcome will be. So you still have to try. So they will have to offer him a step. Well, it's sensible to offer him step aside because you never know. You never know what could happen.
But that's making the assumption that they want the Joshua fight in Saudi. If they don't want the Joshua fight in Saudi and Bob Arum thinks he and Top Rank will do better selling out the Raiders Stadium in Vegas and having an American pay-per-view on ESPN exclusively on ESPN, then there's no reason to offer any step aside money because he's actually got the fight he wants, which is what I actually think is the case.
Yeah. Because he wants to step aside. He doesn't want to step aside. They don't want him to step aside. So step aside don't make no sense. I was thinking from Eddie Hearn's point of view, but Eddie Hearn can't even deal with Deontay Wilder no more. That's always proved I mean, Eddie Hearn, if the relationship was different, Eddie Hearn could come in and say, hold on, Deontay, will you accept step aside? But the whole thing is not set for step aside because this is what Top Rank wanted. So they don't want the man to step aside. What a situation. Okay, let me go to some of the latest.
One of the interesting things that Beeb said to me, but I think he's very far off the mark with this one. I was talking to Beeb briefly today. He thinks that Eddie Hearn was part of the collusion and that they're going to have the Usyk fight in Saudi. I don't think.
I'm
confident that won't happen.
That's not going to happen. The Saudis have no interest in Usyk, as far as I can tell. None.
Well, they didn't bid for the Pulev fight, did they?
They didn't bid for the Pulev. Listen, I think, yeah, B, I know you're around. You might as well jump in. Don't stay in the background. Okay. This blaming of the cons, this blaming of the victims of con artists, smooth con artists. That's Top Rank. That's Tyson Fury. I don't even think Frank Warren's too much in it. He was a periphery guy. He don't benefit too much from this. So it's Tyson Fury. You got the damn picture. It's these guys. There they are. There they are.
They're off to go in the Rangers are set up. Okay.
They're going over to see the damn arbitrator. There they are. The actual day they were in the plane to see the arbitrators. These two con artists. They played a good one. But you know what? I believe in karma. And I believe in yin and yang. I don't believe you should mess people around like this. And these two individuals have seriously messed people around. Bob Arum, you've been doing it for decades. Fair enough. You're the guy. You got your ivory tower. You're fine in Trump Tower, wherever you're based. Yeah, Tyson Fury, you're supposed to be a man of the people. You're not going to be so lucky. You're not going to piss off this many people by hoodwinking them, trying people's patience, conning people into one thing, and then the day before, because where did I have that conversation? Where I had a conversation with Beeb where I said, listen, you don't have to wait till the day of judgment. You don't have to wait till Judgment Day to find out the judgment. You don't have to wait till Judgment Day to find out the judgment. I don't know. I'm into all kind of different genres. And I was on this true crime podcast. And the guy said, the newspapers wrong me. And this guy was fighting against injustice. And he said, before the day of the verdict, somebody from the newspapers wrong me, a very popular newspaper. And they said, how do you feel about the judgment? This newspaper had the judgment, knew what the judge was gonna decide, knew what the judgment was coming from the judge the day before the court case had finished. So from that, I knew that there are channels where people, if they want it enough, they can find out what the judgment is going to be before the judgment is passed. And I strongly suspected, when I said this, because I said it on Sunday, I strongly suspected that Bob Arum, Tyson Fury, knew what the judgment was on Sunday. Hence, Tyson Fury making that very, 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 very sarcastic tweet, which we're going to see now. We're going to go to, is it still up? Is it still up or has it took it down? Huh? Oh, has it been taken down? Or was it never up? Or was it in the... Hold on a second. Has that disappeared? Has that thing... Oh, it was a tweet. It was a tweet. So let me go over to Twitter. If any of you got something to say, then go ahead while I look for it. Hold on, don't worry.
Are you ready?
I got it. Don't worry, I got it. Where is it? It's I'm on his page. I'm just scrolling down. Pretty sure it was a tweet. Ah, there it is.
Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King.
Oh, Tyson, bloody hell. You haven't got visuals. They ain't got visuals on you yet, mate. Hold on. Don't be so impulsive.
Hey, Rafi, you gotta show me how to play just audio without going into like video screen share? Like if I want to play the audio of a video but not show the video, how do I do that?
You just play the audio without sharing it. You just play it in a different window. You understand what I'm saying? You understand? No, you don't understand what I'm saying. So
you open a new tab or something?
You open a new tab and just play it without sharing it, and it comes through.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah. And then so yeah, I think you know what I mean. Okay. So now I'm sharing this, but if I played it without sharing it, you'd still hear the audio. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into this. Okay. So this is what I'm saying. Be clear. I'm being clear about what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you people, folks, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, let me go over to this shizzle and hit the refresh button and see what happens. You know what? How many people are in here right now? You see, how many people? Hold on. Let's just a matter of housekeeping. There's 24 people in here right now. And you know what happened? I went over to the damn YouTube thing, 23, and there's 13 likes. I don't see how that works out. I don't understand that. How can there be 24 people in here and only 13 likes? So what the hell is this then? People are just sitting in here chilling and can't be asked to press the like button? Is that what it is? Yo, anyway, don't piss me off, people. You know what I'm saying? Don't piss me off.
Hit the blasted like. Hit the like.
Press the bloody like button. I mean, is that really so hard? Is that so hard? Anyway, don't listen. Okay, so what's going on? All right, let me play this thing now. So Sunday, before the verdict, before the day of the verdict, before the judgment was announced. Sunday, mind you. Now bear in mind the picture you saw before. And Sunday, we get this from Tyson Fury. Now I pity the fool who tries to tell me that Tyson Fury didn't know what the judgment was on Sunday. I pity the fool. Links in the chat. Bring it.
Massive news for you all, guys. I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this flight's a 100% on. August 14th, 2021, summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I cannot wait, repeat, cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua on the biggest stage of all times. This is going to be the biggest sporting event ever to grace the planet Earth. Do not miss it. All eyes on us. Peace out. God bless. See you all in Saudi. Yes. Get it.
This guy is a con man supreme. Con man. All right. Okay. Listen, I'm sorry I just lost my shit just there. But I can't stand slovenly people. I can't stand people who want everything done for them. The show is set. The show is set. It takes hours. It takes hours of thinking time. Yeah? Okay, on my part. Yeah? Then you got to draw up the thumbnail. Yeah? Then you got to arrange the time. Then you got to find the time. The least I expect from you people is to smash the friggin' like button. That's the least. You know what I'm saying? The least. So, pardon my being a little bit irritated by the fact that we got some people who couldn't be asked to smash the like button, but I understand sometimes it's difficult to press on the mobile phones. I'm just asking you politely, please don't come here and freeload. Don't come here just to listen and chill, put your feet up and not even have the courtesy to say thank you, because that's what the like button is. Don't not have the courtesy to say thank you. That's just that's just something that irritates me. Okay. It's over now. I'm cool. What's going on? I don't get you trying to say that. Mr. Dawkins, tell me not. What do you mean? Tell me. I don't know, bro. Try again. I know it's patois, bro. I think you got the words mixed up there. What? Where is this here? Once the dust settles, we will see what really happens. Once they're going. 2mm tarmac crew. Big boy says you ain't do it. Do it. What's this? Shaking head, lying body language. Fury keep his word. Keep his word about what? Keep his word about what? 22. Yeah, I appreciate it. Sorry for the blowout, but I can't stand slovenly people. I can't stand slovenly people who want to just come down, sit down, put their feet up and let everybody do something. No, play, do something. You know, contribute. Put something in the pot if you want something out of the pot. Don't be that other type of person. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got a little bit animated there, a bit angry. Okay. Where we at? Okay. Appreciate it. Do it every time though. Do it every time though. I shouldn't have to remind people. Yeah, okay. Okay. Liked and shared, much appreciated. All right. Okay. I'm good. All right. Yeah. What's going on? Fury needs to be held. Fury totally needs to be held accountable. Listen, it's a new day. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some changes. Fury is not going to get away with this.
The thing is, Raf.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I think in America, the Americans are quite happy with this outcome generally.
No, in America, it's cool.
I don't think that Arum and Fury care about anything else.
You see, John, at somewhere along the line, in America is safe haven. I'm talking about the UK now. Somewhere along the line, you can't keep getting away with this bull. I can't see how he can keep on getting away with this. He took up people's time. He got people invested. People already invested in Undisputed. And then they had this thing going on in the background to which he was complicit, to which I believe Tyson Fury, Bob Arum were in the loop with this thing. 3 weeks ago, they were on
I think it's
3 weeks. 3 weeks ago, they were on an airplane from Vegas to go to the home of Mr. Weinstein, whatever it is, to go to the home. And check this out now. I don't believe that they didn't know what was going to happen. I believe this thing it's a setup for real. It's a setup for real. And even if it's not a total setup, I believe that Bob Arum and Tyson, Tyson's following Bob. I mean, Bob's the architect of this thing. He said, come with me. He said, come with me. Said Tyson. What's his voice again? I've forgotten. It sounds like a ninja turtle or something. He goes, Tyson, come with me. Listen, we get this thing sorted out. We can get this thing sorted out. What you doing tomorrow at 12 lunchtime? I'm not doing nothing at the moment. I was just going to be out by the pool. with my brother Tommy. And he said, well, tell you what, Tyson. You get yourself to the airport. We're going over to see a very important man. We're going over to the home of the arbitrator. We're going to sit down. We're going to talk. We're going to eat some food, have a glass of wine. We're going to smoke some weed outside on the patio. Maybe go in the jacuzzi. Bring your swimming trunks or not. And we're going to get that guy. We're going to get that guy one way or the other, Tyson. One way or the other. Before we leave that house, Tyson, we're going to get the result that we want. And hold on. The result is that I'm not saying that the arbitrator was swung into granting Wilder the victory in this. I'm not saying that they swung that, but what I'm saying is that they swung that. These people are clever. What they do is say, if we're innocent, can we look at these parameters? No, if we lose, can we look at these parameters? So, for example, please don't award. I mean, do we really need to award money? why don't we just, if he wins, why don't we just give him a fight? Why don't we just give him a fight and then we call it quits? So the arbitrator says, so the arbitrator can't say, if he's a funny guy, he can't say they came over to my house and tried to influence me, tried to sway the decision. No, what they did, I think, if they didn't sway the decision, is they swayed the parameters. So don't fine us. Don't give us a fine. Don't charge us nothing. Just let us give him a fight. Allow us to give him what he wants then, if he wins. So it's very cunning, intelligent talking, and Bob Arum. Listen, credit to Bob Arum. He got what he wanted, and he did it in a very slick way. He brought a star. He brought a star to Weinstein's house. Weinstein. It wouldn't surprise me if Weinstein had some friends over. It wouldn't surprise me if they made an occasion of it. Let's do a meal. Let's get some of my friends over. My wife's brother likes Tyson. The mayor of this town is a huge boxing fan. Can I invite him? Can we do a little spread on the patio? This is how these people work at that level. Yeah, come in, John Dealey.
So, I mean, if you look at the outcome, Bob needs to deliver for ESPN. Delivering a joint pay-per-view or a pay-per-view that isn't at primetime American time, it's definitely not what ESPN want. On top of that, all of Bob's ties are to Vegas. So the outcome is Bob's got a primetime American pay-per-view where he's the sole promoter and he's got the biggest stadium in Las Vegas for a fight with a guy that they've already beaten once and had a draw against, as opposed to a fight in Saudi Arabia that the ESPN aren't really going to be bothered about having that as a pay-per-view in America. The ESPN have been saying all these other American fights are bigger than that fight. It's not a big fight. That's been the constant message on ESPN, that loads of other fights are bigger than Fury AJ. They've been pumping that out. For the last month, Bob's been saying Wilder versus Fury is what can happen. And as the fight doctor has pointed out, and I think we've already pointed out as well, Hearn does have to carry the blame. 100%. He's failed to deliver these big fights.
No, if you look very carefully at the fight doctor's statement, you'll see that it's lacking in detail. So what he's
I think he's suggesting that Hearn was in on it, but someone needs to explain to me the benefit of Eddie Hearn being in this deception. I've asked everybody.
What the fight doctor needs to explain to me is how is because I can say, yeah, well, Hearn didn't do this, but I want to hear his view. I want to hear.
I've asked Beeb to explain the benefit to Hearn. I've asked EJ to explain the benefit to Hearn. I've asked H Money to explain the benefit to Hearn.
Yeah.
And nobody even tries to answer that question.
Right, exactly. And that's where I'm getting at. Mr. T. White, aka the fight doctor, why don't you tell me how Hearn has a share? Well, first of all, how much of a share does he have? Make it into a pie chart. How much of a share does Hearn own in this pie chart of yours? Yeah? And tell me what he did wrong. I want to hear it from you, sir. I don't want you to throw out a statement and then sit back and let other people make your argument for you. That's very crafty, but you're not getting past me tonight. None of that crap is getting past me tonight.
Also, the more important part is, if Hearn was complicit in a deception, how does Hearn benefit from that?
Well, that's the point. Key point. He's going to have to tell me how Hearn benefits. Come on in. Tell me.
I want anybody who thinks that that's the case to explain it to me. I think he's a patsy that got played, and he has to carry the responsibility for that.
He's been a patsy before. He's been a patsy too many times. Too many times have you been a patsy, Eddie Hearn. Too many times. Who's this? Oh, open sesame. Abracadabra. Who is it? Open sesame. Abracadabra.
The Fight Doctor's in the house on Rick James status as always. Come to answer the question.
Oh, okay. Nobody ain't stopping you, brother. Run with it.
Listen, so for months now, Eddie Hearn has been essentially blowing smoke up Team Joshua, the Anthony Joshua cheerleading contingent's rear end about how Eddie Hearn was going to deliver something which he was, in fact, incapable of delivering, which was a fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua. All right? Now,
step by step. Let's take it in baby steps. Talk me through this. How is, remember your argument. Remember where you're trying to get to. But let me just take this in step by step. How is Eddie Hearn incapable of making a fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua?
Because there was pending legal action between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, like I told you so many months ago. Okay? Oh, arbitration isn't court. Well, apparently it is.
No,
okay?
It ain't court, but carry on.
Well, so the arbiter is acting as a judge, is in fact a former judge, okay? And guess what? The arbiter's word is legally binding on both parties. So if that's not court, then I don't know what is.
It ain't court. Let's not talk silly.
Well, the outcome of the arbiter's decision, it might as well have been court, because the arbiter's decision is binding on both parties legally.
Yeah,
so guess what?
I accept that statement, but let's not talk nonsense though. It ain't court, it's arbitration, but carry on.
So how is it Eddie Hearn seems to have been oblivious to all of this?
All of what exactly is Eddie Hearn oblivious to?
Reality, in my opinion, because he seems to have been blowing all this smoke up everyone's rear end about delivering something that he was in fact incapable of delivering, which is a fight between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder.
Okay, so he's not incapable of delivering it. I ain't even gonna go over it. You know what the situation is. Bob Arum said. Hold on. Bob Arum said that one. What did he say? Bob Arum said, "Listen, the worst thing that can come out of this is that Deontay Wilder or Tyson Fury might have to chuck Deontay Wilder a little bit of change, a little bit of money." Yeah.
Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth.
Please,
I just want to finish. Finish what I'm saying. But yet that was not the case, because we've seen now that a whole fight, he owes him a fight, not some money. And I think, could there have been some skullduggery? Could there have been some skullduggery where Bob Arum met up with or didn't even have to meet up, had some communication and said, "Listen, if you think that we owe Deontay Wilder a fight, then just say so, and we will provide it. No chagrin, no problem. If we have been wrong and we owe him and you look over the papers and you feel that we owe him a fight, then please say so. I'll get straight on it. I'll get to the Allegiant Stadium and we will set this thing up." Fight Doctor, carry on.
Yesterday I was lying. Today I'm telling the truth. I'm telling the truth. That is a direct quote from Mr. Bob Arum. Okay? I don't understand why you guys take anything he says seriously.
Hold on a minute.
Or literally.
I need to ask you a question here. See, I'm quite happy with your statement that you've made there. Yeah? That Eddie Hearn has talked a lot about something he was unable to do. And that seems to be apparently the case. He's 100% talked a lot, and he has failed to deliver the fight. That isn't the question that I'm asking you. The question that I'm asking you is that's incompetence. You see, what you're describing is incompetence, where it's not being complicit in a deception. So if Eddie Hearn was in on this with Bob Arum, what is the benefit in doing so for Eddie Hearn? That's my question that you haven't even addressed.
I don't know that Eddie Hearn is one of the grand architects of this scheme. I don't know that. But what I do know is that in terms of blowing smoke, in terms of misdirection, and in terms of bold-faced lies, Eddie Hearn is second only to Bob Arum.
Well, you see, the thing that I don't understand is we hold the view that Eddie Hearn has been incompetent, foolish, and a patsy. So he is responsible for that and to blame for that. So he has to carry his share of the blame because he's failed. But you're suggesting that he's been telling the same sort of lies as Bob Arum. Now, if that is the case, what's the benefit to Eddie? Because we can see what the benefit to Bob is. Bob's the sole promoter for a primetime ESPN pay-per-view. He's got a fight in a massive stadium. And Eddie is left with a fight against Usyk that there is no buzz for.
Well, I can't say that Eddie Hearn was telling the exact same lies as Bob Arum.
What is Eddie Hearn's crime? What is Eddie Hearn's part in this? I've given you a very clear outline of how I think this thing was manipulated by Bob Arum. I've given you a very clear outline. Now, if you could reciprocate, I would truly appreciate that because a lot of people are saying Eddie Hearn's equally to blame, and they can't bring up any arguments for it. So if you could give me your argument for what Eddie Hearn's role was in this, I would truly appreciate it because I have outlined exactly how I think this thing was manipulated by Bob Arum. So if you could do that, Fight Doctor, I would truly appreciate it.
So again, I'm not trying to accuse Eddie Hearn of having been an architect in this deception. No, that's not what I'm saying.
What is his role? What is his role?
His role is essentially having been incompetent and essentially.
How is he incompetent?
Because he made promises that he could not keep. All right. Simple fact of the matter is this: that there is a contract between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, which included a rematch clause. Okay, and nobody ruled or presented any facts to suggest otherwise.
You lost me. I'm trying to focus. I want to be 100% clear on this. Please.
There's a contract between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. That contract included a rematch clause. Nobody presented any facts to the contrary. Nobody presented any facts to suggest the contract was null and void. Just a bunch of rumors and innuendos and bold-faced lies. Now, Eddie Hearn was probably participated in all of that business. Of course he did. But
participated in what? What did Eddie Hearn participate in? Suggesting
that the contract between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder was somehow null and void.
No, Eddie. No, you can't blame Eddie on that. That was Bob Arum. You can't blame that on Eddie.
No, you can't. You can't because Eddie Hearn has spent the last couple of months suggesting that the fight between an announcement for a fight between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua was imminent. All right, He did
it. He named the venue. He named the venue, and the date, and secured the site fee, which was confirmed by Wilder himself and Bob Arum himself and Bob Arum and Frank Warren.
Okay.
Those three parties confirmed that the site fee, and the date. Eddie Hearn lived up to his promise.
No, he didn't. Because Eddie Hearn promised you a fight. And did you get one?
Hold on, Fight Doctor, though. I'm quite happy with the facts that you're using, but you're ignoring the facts that I've given to you. So we're left with this situation. This is a situation.
Which facts did I ignore?
Okay, Bob Arum now has a fight that's on ESPN primetime pay-per-view as the sole promoter. He has a fight booked at a venue in Las Vegas that has a capacity of 67,000 people. So Bob is a clear winner in this situation. His fighter also has a fight against somebody he's already beaten and got a draw against. Eddie Hearn is left with a fight against Alexander Usyk, which is not a big fight. He's got to start from scratch. He doesn't seem to be particularly prepared. It's a fight they could have already had. Joshua last fought in December. They could have comfortably have had that fight by now. I would suggest that Eddie Hearn has been incompetent and looks foolish, as opposed to being complicit in a deception, because there's no benefit to Eddie. I want to hear what the benefit to Eddie is in telling lies.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how this situation benefits Eddie Hearn. I never suggested that it did.
I'm apportioning blame to Eddie on the basis that he's incompetent, not deceptive.
What's in it for
No, he's incompetent and he's deceptive. Okay, because he's been.
So what's in it for Eddie? Because if you are, as you suggest, if you are a participant, not only a participant but a key participant in a conspiracy against the paying boxing public, if you are a key conspirator in a deception, then there will be a clear benefit to you. So the question is, Fight Doctor, what is the benefit to Eddie Hearn?
I don't know that Eddie Hearn receives any benefit out of this outside of maybe free promotion for Anthony Joshua. But I don't see how
Anthony Joshua. Joshua needs that look like he needs free promotion? I'll tell you who needs free promotion. I'll tell you, sorry if I'm a little bit animated, but I'll tell you who needs free promotion. Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury both need free promotion. But Anthony Joshua, please. That's ridiculous.
Ridiculous is what Eddie Hearn is. All right, that's ridiculous. Because
ridiculous is fine. I'm quite happy for that to be leveled at him because he's consistently failed to deliver the undisputed fight. But you're claiming something different to that. You're saying he's willfully deceived us rather than just being foolish.
Yes. Yes.
Eddie Hearn promised you something which he was unable to deliver, and he knew that he was unable to deliver.
Well, that's the bit that we don't know. Was he stupid enough to think to believe?
Let me finish. Please, let me finish. Let me finish. Now, here are the facts, yes? Eddie Hearn was aware of the contract between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Now, this is a fact, okay? Eddie Hearn is a promoter. Eddie Hearn knows how rematch clauses work. Now, Eddie Hearn may not have actually seen the contract between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, but I'm damn well sure that he knows what type of language goes in those types of contracts, okay? So given the situation, I'm sure that Eddie Hearn knew beforehand what the outcome of this arbitration was going to be. All right? And anyone who wants to convince me otherwise is that's crazy. And it's crazy to suggest that he didn't know what was going to happen.
Okay, well, there's two things.
You just say that Eddie Hearn knew what the outcome of this thing was going to be?
Yes. Listen, how was it? Wait. How long has Eddie Hearn been a promoter? How long has Eddie Hearn been a boxing promoter? How long has he been a promoter?
Why would he have wasted his time if he knew what the outcome was going to be?
That's a good question. I suggest that you get Eddie Hearn on this program and you ask him that question.
No benefit to him or his client. There's none.
Where is the benefit? Okay.
This is why you keep ignoring the fact.
Listen, maybe Eddie Hearn
has clear-cut benefits from this outcome. They're very clear. They're very measurable. He has exclusive promotional rights of a primetime ESPN pay-per-view in America on prime time. He has a fight booked for the 24th of July. That's a massive world title fight. It's now got loads of hype and buzz around it. Maybe not positive, but All eyes are on it now. Who's talking about Joshua fighting Usyk? Who's looking forward to that?
Nobody.
Exactly. So Eddie's a clear-cut loser, not winner in this situation. And these are the facts that I keep putting to you, and you keep choosing to ignore.
What facts? Wait. Hold on a second. Wait. Exactly. What facts have I ignored? I've not ignored any facts.
You better please.
I can answer those questions, Rafi, but if you want to move it on, we can.
We got Michael Johnson in here. We got to get everybody talking. Michael Johnson, come on in, Mr. LDBC himself. Come on in.
Well, you got that right. Can y'all hear me?
Loud and clear, my friend. Loud and clear.
I mean, I don't know how y'all can blame. I mean, Edward Hearn. I mean, he did what he was supposed to do. I mean, he probably was a bit naive with this all, but I wouldn't say incompetent. Naive, to think that, he was going to get this fight and stuff like that. There was a small chance that it was going, it could have went in Tyson Fury's favor, probably, because I never ruled it out or anything. I just said, like, let's just keep our composure here. We don't know what's going to happen, and we got a ruling from it. The main person of this all, the main cause of this all wasn't Edward Hearn, it wasn't Bob Arum, it wasn't Frank Warren, it was Tyson Fury. He was the cause of it all. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that chose to move on. And Bob Arum even said in December that I want the Wilder fight is Tyson Fury. And if I was Deontay Wilder, I would sue. But then he goes and say, well, anybody can sue. This is America. The whole thing is the stuff that Bob Arum was saying throughout this course with this whole arbitration and mediation stuff was kind of a bit iffy. He wasn't really picking a side. He wasn't going around here talking about these fights is going to happen, this fight is going to happen, blah, 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 woo, woo, woo. The person that should be at fault and everybody should be talking about is Tyson Fury. Why did he take everybody on this long, fantastic voyage of him versus Anthony Joshua, knowing now well he had something called arbitration in the mix that he didn't even know he was going to win? He's the one who read his contract, and I'm pretty sure he knew he was going to lose. I'm pretty sure people told him this is going to be a tight one. But he even came out Sunday and said it's going to happen, and he talked to one of the princes or the prince in Saudi Arabia and said it's a done data, knowing now well that the results of arbitrations was coming in coming days, knowing that the weight of the arbitration was going to stop him from fighting Anthony Joshua. How come nobody's blaming him?
What was your last sentence?
How come nobody's blaming Tyson Fury?
Of course I'm blaming Tyson Fury. The architects of this thing are, in my opinion, Tyson Fury and Bob Arum. There ain't no going around it, because who's to benefit? Who's going to benefit from this?
Bob Arum can't stop. Bob Arum couldn't stop Tyson Fury from doing what he was doing. Bob Arum could not stop him. Frank Warren couldn't stop him. Nobody could stop this dude from doing what he was doing. He's a promoter. His job is to back his fighter. That's what his job is. His job is to back his fighter. His job is to lie. His job is to sweep, beat around the bush and soft shoe with boxing fans. That's his job. And that's what Bob Arum said. It came out of his own mouth. Now, Fight Doctor is right. It's kind of sometime when you got to pick and choose between when these liars are going to tell the truth and when these liars are not. But there is some type of consistency with these guys.
Okay, moving it along. We are moving it along. We got 5 people now. Okay, let's bring out the clock. Okay, let's restart that shizzle. John D. Lee. Uh-oh, John's left us for a second. Okay, the Fight Doctor.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure which facts I've ignored. As far as I'm concerned, Eddie Hearn may not have been a conspirator, co-conspirator. he may have been, an unwilling participant in this deception or unknowing participant in this deception, but a participant nonetheless, because he spent the last 2, 3, 4 months blowing smoke up everyone's rear end about something that I suspect he knew he could not deliver.
What? Listen, we've already been through this. I asked you what the benefit was to him, and you couldn't give us a benefit.
I told you I don't see that Eddie Hearn benefits from this. Okay. I don't see that he. Maybe there is some benefit for him somewhere, but I'm not aware of any benefit. I'm not aware of how he benefits from this.
You see, so you agree with what me and Rafi were saying, then, basically? I don't understand why you've come on here to say that we started off by saying Eddie has failed. He has to take responsibility for that failure. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We've said all these things. So I don't understand why you came on here suggesting that we were just letting Eddie off the hook. We haven't. He's failed. I agree with everything that you said, but the facts of the matter are, and these are the facts I keep putting to you, Bob's got a fight on ESPN in a massive stadium. And Eddie's left with a fight that no one's interested in.
Okay, so my turn. You have to look at who benefits from the shizniks. Anybody not benefiting is obviously not going to be party to it. You're only party to it if you're going to get some benefit out of it. Eddie Hearn gets no benefit. Looks like he's left with egg on all over his damn face. And that's as a result of a very skilled operator, a seasoned veteran in the art of manipulation. And he goes by the name of Bob Arum. Now, his little apprentice has already came into the game with skills, and his name is Tyson Fury. Is the Iron Kong around? Is the Iron...
Yeah, I hear.
All right, Iron Kong.
Yeah, so, I mean, people were wondering where Anthony Joshua was so quiet. Anthony Joshua has done a few interviews saying, pretty much speaking to the character, the flakiness of Tyson Fury, and why he really doesn't even give Tyson Fury the time of day. When the fight happens, it happens, right? Tyson Fury is a guy skilled in the long con. I think Bob Arum knew exactly what was happening. This is why Allegiant Stadium has been booked so quickly. They had this cooked up a long time. They knew this could happen. They knew it would probably go like this. But I also think that Eddie Hearn got played. He got holed out. But he did his job. He did go and look for the opportunities. He did source the opportunity in order to see if he could get the fight done. He believed Bob Arum for some reason, and I don't know why. But he did his job by his client. And Tyson Fury side can't get their damn act together. That's all.
Michael Johnson, Mr. L.D. Bay site.
Well, this doesn't benefit Edward Hearns at all. And actually, it made him look very, very bad. I mean, he had a lot of people out here bidding for this fight. So he says. Not only on that, he had people actually giving up, talking about giving up money for this fight with insurances from the Prince to Tyson Fury. I see some bridges burnt. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that, Team Fury was quite openly truthful with Edward Hearns. But, like I said, he was a little bit too naive. I think a lot of people had illusions of grandeur. They saw the money and, they figured that there was nothing going to stop this. And obviously it was stopped. But it's all Tyson Fury's fault. This ain't got nothing to do with Bob Arum. I don't know why y'all keep saying that, man, but it ain't got nothing to do with Bob Arum.
Do you realize Bob Arum took him in a plane? Do you realize Bob Arum took him in a plane? Took Tyson.
But they had to go on the plane to the meeting. It wasn't something that.
Okay. Hold on. Do you know the location of the meeting?
I don't care for the. I know what you said. I know what you said previous. But if that was the case, that's where the meeting was held. You see what I'm saying?
was
But
held
if
in
you
the
want to
home.
go to a conspiracy theory and say that all this stuff and this is what that means and blah blah blah, whoop, because at the end of the day, Bob Arum is just a promoter. And Bob and the words out of his own mouth that I just said again, that I would say again.
Hold on. Okay, carry on.
The words out of Bob Arum's own mouth, and you guys can go and look it up. He said he wants the Deontay Wilder fight. It's Tyson Fury who doesn't want the fight, and he's moving on. If I was Deontay Wilder, I would sue. That's what he said. That's word for word what he said, and he was been optimistic with the ruling for the arbitrator all this time. And Bob Arum had dealing with the same arbitrator before with Nonito Donaire. When Nonito Donaire tried to go to Boy Promotions.
What happened there?
First time.
What happened there?
Weinstein said, "You ain't going nowhere. Go back to Top Rank." That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. This ain't got. If you want to blame Bob Arum, hold
on a second. So you just told me that Bob Arum has had dealings with this arbitrator before. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And he had dealing. No, I want this on tape. I want it on wax. I want it on tracks. And he had dealings with Weinstein over Nonito Donaire's request to leave. What? Who do you want to leave?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. Just go look it up, because a lot of people didn't actually look this guy's name up and actually see the accolades that he has behind him. A lot of people didn't look that stuff up. So, maybe you can make a video on that or something like that, because he's actually pretty impressive. You know what I'm saying? And he's not some no walk in the park ex-judge. You know what I'm saying? And but if you want to blame Bob Arum, that's your business. But if you heard some of the stuff I said about this whole arbitration mediation thing, truth has come to pass. So if you don't want to believe me with this one, that's your business. Bob Arum is all Tyson Fury's fault. Bob Arum is just a promoter. And Tyson Fury thought he can go somewhere else because he had illusions of grandeur and it didn't work out. And now Bob Arum is getting the finger pointed at him. Now Edward Hearn is getting the finger pointed at him and stuff like that. But the whole cause of it all, the cause and effect of all this is Tyson Fury.
The cause and effect of all this is Tyson Fury. Now, wasn't Tyson Fury working in concert with Bob Arum? I'm going over to ERF Boxing up in the building. You're not on the clock. You're not on the clock because you just come in. How do you do?
I'm not too bad, Rafi. Bad news.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time.
I don't understand how it can't be Bob Arum's fault. He's the promoter. He's the one dealing with the fight. He's the one that misled Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua's side that everything was good to go to sign a contract and negotiate a fight in Saudi Arabia. He's the one that said that allowed this negotiations to go through and reassured Eddie Hearn that the arbitration mediation wouldn't affect the fight at all. He even went on barbershop conversations and said, "No, this won't affect this fight. It'll be for a settlement at the worst." So I don't know how you can't give Bob Arum flame for this. He's the only person to be blamed for this. He acts on Tyson Fury's behalf. So when you say it's Tyson Fury's fault, no, Bob Arum's the one who acts on his behalf. So it's Bob Arum's fault. This ain't got nothing to do with Deontay Wilder, because Deontay Wilder did what he had to do. He had every right to go through to arbitration or court or whatever. He had every right to do this. This is all Bob. Bob could have said to Eddie, "We can't do anything and negotiate a fight until this arbitration was done." No, what he did say was, "We can get through this and the arbitration wouldn't affect the Anthony Joshua fight," and he lied.
He lied out of his derriere. He lied out of his mouth. He lied out of every orifice. And it's very unfortunate. It's highly unfortunate. John D. Lee.
It is very clear cut how to determine who's behind this situation. I mean, Wilder obviously played a part, but I don't hold him accountable for any blame because he's doing what he should do. He's looking after his own interest. Bob Arum has come out a massive winner. Eddie Hearn has come out a massive loser. Frank Warren isn't winning in this situation particularly. And potentially Tyson Fury is actually taking a pay cut. So arguably,
Bob Arum is taking a clear cut, a pay cut.
Bob Arum makes his money from promoting fights. He's the sole promoter of an ESPN pay-per-view on American primetime TV.
Okay, so can you stop, please, alarm? Can you stop? Okay, so you know what? We've talked about it extensively. Looks to me like you have to look at who benefits from this. Does Tyson Fury benefit from this? How does he benefit from this? Well, he doesn't fight Joshua, but he gets what most people would consider a relatively easy payday and relatively lucrative. Not as good as fighting Joshua, but he's picking up what most people would consider a relatively easy payday. So he benefits. Bob Arum benefits because he gets a show. It's his show. So he's got to get the cream. He's got to get some cream off that, even though the pickings might be slim. He's had Tyson Fury out there doing some PR. We thought it was for the undisputed fight, but it transpires. It looks like it's actually the PR that Tyson Fury was doing was actually to benefit him in the Wilder 3 fight, which it looks like he knew all along. He knew all along what the outcome was going to be, but they stalled out time. Why did he stall out time? Why did he not fight Anthony Joshua? No, Deontay Wilder last year. Like we said, well, we'll fight him then. Fight him then. You got time? Fight him then. But no. Then he was, and so we get to 2021, and Tyson Fury now is going to fight Wilder. It's funny because if he'd have fought him last year, then there would have been less money on the table. But now the COVID restrictions have been lifted. All of a sudden, you can get people in the, well, let's fight him now. Was that not premeditated? No, let's not fight him on the COVID lockdown. Let's wait until the restrictions are lifted and then we fight him. Cool, cold, and calculated. Cool, cold, and calculated. That's what Tyson Fury is. That's what Bob Arum is. That is my argument. So we're going to go. Yo.
I did say earlier that I now believe Tyson Fury coming out 2 days ago saying he spoke to Prince Khalid and this fight is 100% a go and 100% happening. This was a ploy, knowing full well this arbitration had ruled in Deontay Wilder's favor. I think he came out and announced this, so everybody got hyped, and then when this came out a couple of days later, because he would have known days before we knew about this, that he now he can't be called a duck or saying that he doesn't want to fight Anthony Joshua. Now he can say, I was ready to fight Anthony Joshua. I even said on record I'd signed the contract, but now I've got to fight Deontay Wilder, so I can't fight Anthony Joshua. This was all a ploy.
Cool, cold, and calculated. Cool, cold, and calculated. It was a ploy. We've been spanked. We have been spanked. But Fury hasn't been totally successful because we've seen through the ploy. We've seen through the ruse. We've seen it. We know what's up. We know the workings. We know the workings of the damn thing. We've seen him in a plane with Bob Arum flying to the arbitrator's house. We know what went down, and we know exactly how it went down. And we know the architects. We know the architects of this ruse, of this ploy, of this deception, grand deception. The architects were Bob Arum and Tyson Fury. We know the culprits. We know the culprits. A crime has been committed, and I'm a big believer in karma. I'm a big believer in karma. And listen, it's all right. It's all right for Bob because he lives in the Ivory Tower, Trump Tower, wherever it is. That's all cool in the gang. Yeah, but no. But Tyson Fury, he kind of lives amongst us. He's among us, and so we're gonna have to look at him, knowing what he did.
So can I interject for a second?
Hold on, man. I'm gonna come to you, brother. I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna come to everybody around the table. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share, people. Hit all the good buttons. You know which ones are there for you. Anyone that doesn't believe that this was orchestrated by Bob Arum is very naive. Yeah, Bob Arum and Tyson Fury, key architects of this deception on the public, and how somebody's going to walk around with a head held high, knowing that people now know for sure you're a damn con man. A talented one, yes. A one who knows how to box, yes. But you're a con man. Everybody knows now that slick maneuver you did on Instagram, yeah, with the message, yeah, that slickness. Do you really think that you're so above everybody, Tyson Fury, that they're not going to see through your ruse? They're not going to see through that crapola? Let me just remind everybody before we get to everybody having their final words. Let me just remind everybody. I don't even know if you can see this. Can you see this? Okay, see this. Feel this.
Hey there, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. Got some massive news for you all, guys. I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this flight's a 100% home. August 14th, 2021, summertime.
Look at the neck of the guy. Over here in England, mainly up in the north. You call it brass neck. It's when you're lying out of your ass to someone's face and you're keeping a straight face. That's what we call a brass neck. And this man is the definition of a brass neck.
Time. He told me this flight's a 100% home from Prince Khalid. Of massive news for you all, guys.
Okay, now he's disrespected the Saudi royal family. He took a phone call from them and then said, "Oh, thank you, Prince. Oh, thank you, Prince. In fact, I've got 3 sons named Prince. Thank you, Prince. Yes, it's all systems a go." But he thinks he's so slick because he's got away with it numerous times. He thinks he's so slick that he can pull this and nobody's going to get it. Well, Tyson, Luke, we've seen through it, my friend. You're busted, my friend. You're busted. Let me just finish with this and then we go around the table.
I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this flight's a 100% home. August 14th, 2021, summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I cannot wait, cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua on the biggest stage of all times. This is going to be the biggest sporting event ever to grace the planet Earth. Do not miss it. All eyes on us. Peace out. God bless. See you all in Saudi.
What a con man. How can you keep a straight face when you're fooling the people like that? Wow. And there's so many other things I want to talk about, but I'm not going to mix them in with this show. I'm going to have to do it in the next show and the next day, maybe tomorrow. So let's go around the table. Eric, it's on you, my friend. This one's for you.
No, let fight Doctor go because he wanted to go. Cool.
But now I'm keeping Fight Doctor till later. Remember, these are the final words.
All right, final words. Nah, like I said, I believe this is all, like I said, all orchestrated. I think that the timing of that video was done perfectly. so Tyson Fury could try and save some face when this announcement came out that he lost the arbitration. Yeah, so go ahead, fight Wilder, and just let's leave Anthony Joshua's name out of it all. Let's go. Anthony Joshua can fight Usyk now, fulfill his mandatory, and go from there.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm keeping this one short and precise. Eric, thank you for your final words. Thank you for your final words. And I don't know, I'm sick. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of deception, deceptive practices, deceptive ways. And then those same mother want to look you in the face with a bare-faced nerve, the cheek, the audacity of the fellas. But guess what, guys? We've seen through your crapola. You pulled off fraud against the boxing people, but we know what you did, and we know who you are. Okay, so who's next? Yeah, the fight doctor.
Well, I think we have ignored the other grand architect, the other person who I think bears some responsibility for having ultimately killed the Fury Joshua fight, and that's none other than Al Heyman. I think Arum was aware of. So Arum was trying to weasel out of the rematch clause. He's trying to weasel out of the contract. Okay, of this I'm certain. But I think Uncle Al pulled some strings and essentially put Bob in his place and reminded Bob of exactly who runs boxing. And Bob, ever being the opportunist, aligned his interests with what the reality was, which is Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder 3. So Eddie Hearn got played. I agree with Iron Kong. Eddie Hearn got played, and it is what it is. So,
okay, and that was what the hell just happened there? That was the fight doctor. So the fight doctor changed his tune. Came on saying Eddie Hearn was a co-conspirator in this fraudulent act. But now he's saying he was a victim. So, so my, how things change. And MJ Michael Johnson, Mr. LDBC up in the building. Your final words, sir.
Okay. Well, you could call me naive if you want for believing this is Tyson Fury's fault and not Frank Warren's or whoever's fault. Me and you, we went back and forth a while back on some of this stuff with mediation and arbitration and stuff like that, and come to find out I was right.
I don't remember the particular conversation. Drop a link to that show.
Well, we remember your stance on the situation.
You know my stance, yeah.
Yeah. So, after all said and done, I wouldn't praise Al Heyman for this or anything like this. It was just a bunch of mess. And now we're going to get Wilder hopefully we're going to get Wilder versus Tyson Fury coming up. And I'm not caring about none of the numbers. I'm not caring about what's going to happen. Is it a third? I'm going to watch. So if you ain't watching, I know everybody's going to make videos about it, tweets about it, and all that stuff. So once again, like Edward Hearn and them tried to say that they putting on the biggest show this year. Well, obviously the biggest show this year is in PBC's hands now. So if people want to keep playing these little sassy games with the promoters and advisory companies, they can. But really, it should just be kept to what fights do we want to see and why are we not getting the fights that we want to see instead of whose promoter is putting on what.
Okay. And that was Michael Johnson. Okay, Michael Johnson, thanks for coming over and sharing your views.
Right on. I gotta go. I got a barbecue.
All right, man. Have a
Right.
good time. Have a good time. Okay, so that was the Michael Johnson, and then there were two. What do you say? Timothy Thomas says the fight doctor at last talking some sense. Well, maybe he doubled up on the mushrooms. I don't know. Maybe he doubled up on the mushrooms or lowered the potency or up the potency. I don't know. John D. Lee kept it nice.
He got a very sneaky one in at the end.
What was that?
That this is a win for Al Heyman, and he showed Bob Arum who really runs boxing.
I don't think. Well, if by obstructing boxing, that means you run boxing, well, maybe he has a point.
I mean, I haven't really got any criticism of Wilder or Bob, but Al Heyman over this. They were just fighting for their own interests, which is fine.
Yeah.
No, I haven't got an issue with that. As opposed to putting Bob Arum in his place, the last time I checked, the winner of the previous fight has sole rights of promotion. So Bob's going to make all the money off this fight.
Yeah.
So I don't really see how he's been put in his place. I mean, that's why I keep bringing these facts up that the fight doctor chose to ignore. The fact is, what we're left with is Bob Arum has a pay-per-view on ESPN on primetime American TV that he's the sole promoter of.
So, a loss.
Pardon?
How is that a loss? How is it?
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see how Al Heyman's winning either. The other thing that I'm struggling to come to terms with is how can we be blaming the fighters for not giving us the fights that we want to see when it's the promoters who are getting in the way of doing that, and they're the ones whose job it is to put the fights on?
Yeah.
Now, there's different types of blame to give to all of them, but none of them are giving us the fights that we want, so they are all failing.
Yeah. Ringside Reporter says Bob is by far the biggest winner. Well, you know, sometimes when you sometimes when you think you've won, you've actually lost. Because in this situation, what we've seen here is the puppeteers and the principal architects of the ruse, of the con job, of the deception. The key architects have been exposed.
But the trouble with it, Raf, is the Americans. Right, I was on Beebs earlier, and I had an American telling me that he doesn't think Tyson Fury's popularity will suffer because of this. He also thinks that Tyson Fury's popular in the UK. I had to get off before I could respond to what he was saying. And he's a reasonable guy. I mean, he wasn't being unreasonable. But the bit that he doesn't seem to sort of comprehend is Tyson's never sold out a stadium in the UK, and his pay-per-view numbers are horrible here. So whilst he might go on TV shows and this and that, he's got no sponsors, and he does horrible numbers in the UK.
Terrible.
And this is not going to improve his standing in the UK, but I don't think they care.
Who don't care?
Bob Arum and Tyson Fury. They're quite happy doing things that are in the interests of ESPN. And presumably the gate is where Bob's making the lion's share of his money. So he doesn't care if the pay-per-view tanks because that's ESPN's portion. They just get an upside from it. And if it's the gate revenue, I think as sole promoter, Bob's making all the profit. It's his money. And he's got a 67,000 seater stadium. So ESPN, he's kept them happy. He's maintaining that deal. And he's got the biggest possible venue in Vegas where they haven't had anything on for what, 18 months by the time it's on?
Yes. I think we've done it. I think we've chopped it up. John D. Lee, much appreciation. Much
Thanks, bro.
appreciation. And we'll talk again during the week. Okay, so what's going on now? I'm a Fury fan, and this shizzle is a joke, but not a funny one. Reputations. You know, you can only go so far. You can only go so long. Fooling people. He's fooled people before. I'm talking about Tyson Fury, but never so blatantly. They thought they were slick, thought they were rough out here, but they have been speedily exposed. Not by the mainstream outfits, because you know how they do. We've seen that with the Billy Joe episode, and we ain't finished with Billy Joe. Might drop a video or drop a live regarding those antics, further antics involving Ben Davidson and Ben Davidson testimony and statements, and Mark Tibbs. I was supposed to have done that on Monday. Could have done it today, but I wanted this to be a standalone. It deserved a thorough examination. You won't see this from the mainstream outlets, so you have to come to more the channels that will actually dig in, shake off the dust, and actually look and listen. H Money says, Rafi, you ducked me today. You jumped off the live. You did it, not me. You did it. So, yeah, they have been exposed. The antics of Tyson Fury, of Bob Arum, have been laid out bare for everyone to see. Be there coming with the jokes. Okay, much appreciated. So, we've done it. When I come back next time, we'll be looking at other topics. We'll be looking at other topics because there's lots of things to say. You ran away. You did it to yourself. You ran away. Okay, so I think that's it. We've chopped it up thoroughly, dissected it thoroughly. Thanks for everyone who jumped on the panel. You know who you are. Too many for me to mention. And thanks for everybody who jumped in the chat, the live chat. Kindly ensure, if you enjoyed the show, that you smash the like button. I shouldn't really have to remind you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. And of course, if you want to support the channel even more so, hit that super chat button. And after the show, you can hit the PayPal button. Okay, keep this thing moving. Okay, so it's the con men, the Tyson Fury, the Bob Arum, sitting in a plane going to the home of the arbitrator, Weinstein. There is that thing. What am I looking for? Where is it? Yeah, Weinstein. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Where the hell is that thing? Where the hell is that thing when they're sitting on a plane? Have I got to go and damn well find this myself? Where's that thing where he's sitting on a plane? Where's the other thing? Okay, there it is. Okay, we'll have to satisfy with that. So, sitting on a plane, going over to the arbitrator's house. 3 weeks before the decision. Yeah, that's some, you know what that is. Shh. Where everything's been exposed. Everything has been exposed. We know. We know what that is. And damn. Let it just happen. Let it just happen. Let it just happen. Rafi, what's the chance? That's a good question. What's the chance of Fury having a warm-up? Well, that would be just the cherry on the cake. How would you need a warm-up when the guy you're fighting is the last guy you fought? And he's the last guy you fought, and you're the last guy he fought. So you both fought at the same time. I don't see no need. I don't see no need for no warm-up. But I really do question how seriously and we can hold Tyson. What kind of regard? What kind of regard can we hold him in? Can we hold him in high regard? I doubt it. I really, really doubt it. Okay, it's the Raphael Dawkins, it's the Combat Radio, it's the like, it's the subscribe, it's the comments, it's the shares, and it is the hitting that bell icon to stay updated with news and notifications. And don't forget about the live show. Don't forget about the videos. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. It's Raphael Dawkins. It's the Combat Radio. And we are out. Blessed.
Yes! Get it. Hey there, Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King. Got some massive news for you all, guys. I've just got off the phone from Prince Khalid of Saudi Arabia. He told me this fight's a 100% on. August 14th, 2021, summertime. All eyes of the world will be on the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I cannot wait, repeat, cannot wait to smash Anthony Joshua on the biggest stage of all times. This is going to be the biggest sporting event ever to grace the planet Earth. Do not miss it. All eyes on us. Peace out. God bless. See you all in Saudi. Yes. Get it.